I'm going to show you why Ron DeSantis needs to be our next president. Sorry, Trump, but this needs to happen. Trump needs to step aside and Ron needs to re-enter the race. Don't believe me? Check out what Ron's doing in Florida right now.
We're here today because you assume in America, if you purchase a home and own a residence, that's your residence. That if you happen to maybe split time in Orlando and Michigan, that if you go to Michigan over the summer, people aren't going to be able to just move into your house and then claim squatters' rights on your private residence.
Makes sense, right? I would think if you leave your home for the summer, winter, whatever it might be, and you come back, you should be able to go back to your home, right? If someone's living in your home, that should be illegal, shouldn't it? Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think so far? Put it in the comments below and let me know. Now, if you live in New York and California, things might be different, but check out what's going on in Florida today. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited to get wins, right? Like laws get passed and you're like, wow, this just makes sense. And who wouldn't be excited for this? If you're not, if you think this is wrong so far, let me know in the comments below too. But man, let me know what you think. But so far, I am just blown away by this. I've lived in Florida for 10 months, and this is just another great law they passed. So let's check it out.
And yet, in places like New York and California, that's exactly what's happening in this country. Homes are being invaded, and those states and their laws are not siding with the homeowners, they're siding with the squatters. In fact, we have seen squatters move in and claim residence. This forces a massive, long, drawn-out judicial review before they can even be removed from the property. These are people that never had a right to be in the property to begin with. Earlier this month in New York, a woman returned to a property she inherited to find squatters living there. She changed the locks to get them out, and the state of New York arrested her instead of the squatters.
That is crazy to me. Now listen, I understand tenants' rights are there to protect tenants, but squatting is a completely different thing. Tenants do need rights and there needs to be protection in place. But squatting, it just does not make sense to me. We need to make tougher laws on that, and I'm excited to hear this. How would you feel if you bought a home and you were away on vacation and you came back home and there was someone else living there? And you called the police and the police said, well, this is a civil matter. There's nothing we can do. You need to go to court for that. Where would you live? What would you do? Can you believe there's no one out there that would help you with this? That's why this law makes so much sense to me. And again, you agree? Put it in the comments below. Has this ever happened to you? Or are you a squatter? If you are, you probably shouldn't even be on YouTube. But let me know that in the comments below too. Here we go.
Just a few days ago, 2 squatters in New York City allegedly murdered the property owner when she confronted them for being in her apartment illegally. In fact, we even have illegal aliens taking to social media, instructing other foreigners how to come into this country and commandeer property. They have gotten involved in this. Well, today in the state of Florida, we say very simply, what passes muster in New York and California is not passing muster here. You are not going to be able to commandeer somebody's private property and expect to get away with it. We are in the state of Florida ending the squatter scam once and for all. Momentarily, I'll be signing HB 621, which will give the homeowner the ability to quickly and legally remove a squatter from a property, and which will increase criminal penalties for squatting. Now, we have not had the same type of issues here as you've seen in California or New York. Nevertheless, our laws were really geared towards this not necessarily being a fad. This idea of squatting, when you had the Old West and people would settle the West, you'd show up, there'd be a place, so people would settle, they'd create a community. Well, to have someone come 7, 8 years later and say they own the property after all this, you understood why that was done in that way. That was never intended to empower somebody to just invade some residential subdivision and illegally occupy somebody's private residence. So what we're doing today is recognizing that, but I think more importantly, providing very swift remedies because what the squatters know is even when they're in the wrong, it's a massive process many times before they can be evicted, and a lot of times the process is very expensive.
And again, that's the thing. They know they're in there. Once they're in there, it could take months, even more, even years, and sometimes they'll demand just payment, right? Just to get them out. And they have all the rights in the world, and you as the homeowner have no rights. Does this make sense to anybody out there? It doesn't to me. I love how he points out too, New York and California, that they let things and protect people like the squatters instead of protecting the taxpayers, the people that pay the property taxes. I would think that those would be the people you want to protect and put laws in place. Am I wrong? Let me know. Again, shoot me a comment and let me know if you agree with me. If you agree, say yeah. Let me know at this point if you're all in. Maybe I'm wrong, but I own real estate. I'm a landlord. And this goes for everybody though, whether you own real estate as an investment property or you own your personal home, this is affecting everybody. You heard what happened to that poor woman in New York who lost her life from this. It's just so awesome to live in a state where they are going after problems like this, which are like no-brainers, in my opinion, right? Who wouldn't want this? Like, why isn't your state doing the same thing? I don't understand, right? Shouldn't they be? I would think so. Those are the kind of questions you need to be asking in your state. Or if not, move to mine. Move to Florida. I left Michigan, and unfortunately, I feel in Michigan they'd be passing laws to protect the squatters. Now here in Florida, that's not the case. It's so awesome to wake up, first of all, in this beautiful sunshine state, but to wake up and hear things like this happen. They're looking out for homeowners and the people they should be looking out for. So this is fantastic to me. Great news. You can tell I'm happy about it. I hope you are too. Let's see what else he's got to say.
We don't want the law to have the thumb on the scale in favor of people that are violating the law. We want the law to have the thumb on the scale in favor of law-abiding property owners, and that's what you're going to see here with this piece of legislation. What you can do now, if you're the victim of squatting, you can simply fill out a form, give it to your local sheriff, and the sheriff is instructed to go and remove the people who are inhabiting your dwelling illegally. And that will happen very quickly. And I can guarantee you, it's just like you saw, I think it was a couple months ago, there was a discussion about some of these theft rings that happen, a lot of them with illegal aliens, and how people will steal in New York. Sometimes they'll try to come to Florida to spend the money, but they don't steal in Florida. And the question was, well, why don't you steal in Florida? And they said, because you go to jail in Florida when you do that.
I love that, man. I mean, I really do. Again, we've been in Florida for 10 months, but I love to hear things like that. What's the deterrent, right? There has to be a deterrent for people, and that's a great example, right? We'll go to jail in Florida, so we will do and operate in these other areas and these other states that let us and do not punish us for these crimes we commit. And I love to hear in Florida, that's not going to be the case.
So I think it's going to be similar here. Yes, you're going to have really strong remedies so that it does happen to you, they're going to be ejected. But the fact that you have those remedies, the fact that a Sheriff Lima can go in, send deputies, and liberate your residents for you very quickly, people are not going to want to even try this in the state of Florida. So I commend the legislature for this action. I think it's going to be something that is going to be very, very meaningful for this state. And look, you see these trends that happen in these other parts of the country. I think good leadership is looking and saying, okay, we're not going to repeat what is going on in these failed jurisdictions. And so the legislature was up to the task, and then here today we're signing this into law is going to show that the state of Florida is up to the task. So,
and I love that. Democrats, Republicans, everyone coming together on this. This is a no-brainer to me. It makes sense regardless of who you vote for. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about all the politics. I just care about laws like this that make sense for people. I love to see that these Democrats and Republicans can come together, work together, and pass a law like this, a common sense law that should be passed in every state. This should be nationwide. I cannot believe in this day it's not. This has destroyed people, destroyed families, And it's so unfortunate that this is allowed to happen in the United States today.
I thank the legislature for what they've done. We believe in the rule of law. We believe in private property rights. We think it's good that people can aspire to own a home. You know, we even are proud that we've got a lot of seasonal residents here. You know, it's great that people will maybe decide to come to Florida for half the year. And if they do that and they go to the Northeast or the Midwest or even Canada, many people do, that their house will be left unattended. They're not going to have some rogue person move in and then try to assert rights against the lawful property owner. So the squatter scam ends today with my signature on this piece of legislation, and the state of Florida will be better for it.
That is awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. Ron DeSantis, great job, great leadership, and to the Democrats and Republicans, great leadership. So happy to live in this state. And what do you think? Are you ready to move to Florida? Is this something you're excited about? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on this? Can you believe that people can get away with squatting today? And here's the thing, even when you go to court and you prove this is my house, right? Let's say it takes 6 months. You can't live there for 6 months and you prove this is my house. The judge says, okay, get them out, right? And then they have certain time to get their stuff out, and then the sheriff will come. Now you're paying for all this too. You're paying for the court, you're paying for your lawyer. I'm sure you have to pay for the bailiff to go and throw them out, right? So you have to pay all this money, and you're making your house payment this whole time. Sound fair? Does that sound fair to you? It doesn't to me. So you're paying all this money, and guess what? You finally get them out. Now you have to fix the place up. Now you have to go through and whatever damage they've done, fix it all. And it takes time to get them out of there. And you should be asking yourself, how is this legal? Because guess what happens? After you go through this whole process, do they go to jail? What do you think? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. They don't. They do not go to jail for this. It's really disgusting, and you can see I'm pretty fired up about it. I don't get into politics or anything like that, but this is a no-brainer, man. Everywhere this should happen, and it excites me. I love to see this. Do you think these squatters should go to jail? Do you think they should be punished? I do. I think they should. And I love seeing laws like this because, again, if you live in New York, in California, and you can get away with things like this, or you have the option of doing it in Florida, and you're going to get in trouble for doing it, and you're going to get kicked out quickly, where would you rather do it, right? Not in Florida, not after this, not after he just passed this law. So DeSantis, great job on this. And again, to the Democrats, Republicans, everybody coming together on this one. And I'm really excited to live here. And I want to let you know, a friend of mine, I think, is responsible for this. His name's George, and you can watch in this video here what George did in the video he made that I think is the reason this is being enacted. So check this next video out. Let me know what you think over there too. I think you're going to be, first of all, a little upset. Then you're going to be excited when you realize in the end what actually happened. All right. So make sure you check it out. Don't forget to subscribe and like, because I'm going to bring you real estate and everything else. I hope you love this video, and I'll see you in the next one.